Life is overwhelming. We all are stressed out to the max.
There's this understanding in the world that we're not supposed to deal with these things, and when we do, we're supposed to just shove them under the rug and not think about them.
It's really important for people to be involved and not ashamed. I am Miriam Ament, founder and president of No Shame on You, which is a nonprofit dedicated to eliminating the stigma associated with mental health conditions.
My name is Daniel Warshawski. I grew up in Deerfield, Illinois. After college, I served for about a year in the IDF in Israel.
My name is Rebecca Pagonitz. Pretty much my whole life I've had depression. Didn't really articulate it until college.
When I was in the Army, I was injured. One of the things that was really difficult about getting injured was that I didn't necessarily get the medical care that I needed initially, which really took a toll on my own mental health.
Mental health is just as important as your physical health, and in the same way you would get a broken leg, a broken arm, anything else treated, there's no shame in getting a mental health condition treated.
In the end, I was released from the Army on a medical charge, and for a while I thought I was fine, and I kind of started to realize that I was kind of pulling away from my friends. My friends had been reaching out to me, and I just would always say that I didn't want to see them.
My grandmother died by suicide in the 60s. I was 1 year old, and she had just gotten home from the hospital, and she took an overdose of pills. So I've learned more and more about my childhood history that's contributed. I'm trying to navigate suicidal ideation almost every day.
One night when my friends had been trying to get in touch with me for a while, and I just kept not responding. I didn't pick up the phone, I didn't text back. They banged on my apartment door and I didn't answer. They even called my parents to tell them that they had been trying to get in touch with me and that they didn't think that I was okay.
Over 15 years ago, I was hospitalized 3 times for depression. One of my then closest friends called me when I was in the hospital and said, "I only want to talk to you when you're happy, so let's not talk again for a while." And then I never heard from her again.
Being a friend to a depressed person is one of the hardest things that you can do. My friends were making sure that I was okay, calling me all the time, texting me, just making sure that I was okay and taking care of myself. And when I wasn't, they made sure that I got the help that I needed. My roommate, who's one of my best friends, continued confiding in me and continued asking me questions and asking me for advice about his life, knowing that even though I had stuff that was messed up in my own personal life, I could still be there for him. And that was one of the things that helped me the most because it made me feel useful. It made me feel like I had a purpose a little bit.
Instead of saying someone is X, is their disease, someone lives with bipolar disorder.
This is a thing, and it's part of my story, but it's not the whole thing.
Through my own personal journey, be it a God's calling or whatever, I have felt compelled to get out there and just be a voice for people and to empower people.
Finally, I posted on something on Facebook, a long status about everything that happened, and the response that I got from so many of my friends from college that I hadn't talked to in years saying, "I can relate so well to this. I understand what you're feeling. Thank you so much for talking about this." That's kind of the culmination of my experience.
Research shows one of the best ways to eradicate stigma is to have contact with individuals with lived experience. So I realized that if I could open up about my story, I could really have a big impact on a lot of other people who feel like they're so alone.
It's hard to get people if it doesn't strike some kind of personal chord.
If I had known that other people dealt with this stuff more, I wouldn't have waited so long to ask for help.
It's really important for people to know that they're not alone and that there are so many people out there that understand what they're going through.
I wish people would get more educated, or people would learn more about empathy and compassion.
When more people hear about it and more people talk about it, it's no longer going to be a thing that's scary.
People are scared to death to talk about uncomfortable things unless it's trendy.
There are crisis resources available 24/7. More than 1 in 5 adults lives with a mental health condition. Nearly 20% of teens will experience a depressive episode. There are so many statistics that show how common it is. So I think that's one way is for people to spread the word and let people know that it's so common.
I found out about No Shame on You when I got home from Israel, and I did a mental health first aid class.
Our goal is for the people who need help to seek it, for family members and friends to know how to provide proper support and to save lives.
If this is something that you're dealing with, there are more people like you than you think, and talking about it doesn't make you any less strong.
The pain is going to pass. The world needs every single individual on this planet. You are here for a reason.